lot of
Because
development.
a lot of developments.
Yeah, so rook f5, that was something that we looked at, and queen f2 indeed was played. Rook went to c8. A bit of transposition, so I'm not sure if this one actually has a name before knight b to d7.
It's the anti-bishop f4 line.
Anti-f4 line, okay, that works for me. So c takes, e takes, bishop to g5, bishop to b4, and I think it's fair to say that it must be Rogozin defense territory with an early knight to d7, knight d2. Knight d2 stops all the, like h6, bishop goes, g5, knight e4 tricks, which is very common in the Rogozin. Say, if I would have played e3, then among other things that black can do, which is castle, c5 play, and so on and so on. But that would be one of the ideas, yeah, knight e4. So knight d2 takes care of that, but then black can switch to playing a sort of a usual Carlsbad structure, Carlsbad maneuvering. So knight to f8, knight to g6, then later h6 to get rid of the b. And interestingly, in the Rogozin, black does not mind exchanging on c3, right? But now if you play a3, I guess black just goes back. Because what white did, white has won a tempo, right? But once again, like winning a tempo with a2, a3 and going knight d2 is not necessarily very useful moves, right? Because later on, in order to play for this for this kind of plan, you will need to move the pawn, the a pawn, for a second time.
Yeah.
So bishop e7 and then knight to g6 and h6 very likely, or sometimes knight e6 as well. Yeah, but knight e6. What was this plan like?
Knight e6,
g6, knight to g7 in order to play bishop f5.
You swap off with a nice square bishop.
Right. It's Queen's Gambit structure, the Carlsbad structure, right, with somewhat strange placement of both knights, I would say, knight on d2, knight on f8, but no major differences. It's still very positional, long-term plans, and so on and so forth.
Okay, yeah. It's very tricky opening as well. There are so many different order of moves and similar ideas, but yeah, you just have to be careful because not all the order of moves are the same, although they look very similar. Okay, so far still quite peaceful on this game?
Yeah, so moving on, board 4, Jumabayev against Riga Isi, and I can see
I think it was very impressive just to go all out against seeded number 3, and it's just dominating the game.
Yeah. And
Safarov?
yeah,
Oh, Mr. Turk as well.
That's
giving up
a lot of nice games.
it was home preparation.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough, but still, like when you go through the game without, say, much knowledge of what was prepared and what wasn't, like, still it gives you a very nice impression.
And before we leave, I'd like to get everyone's quick opinion on the board 11 between Paravan against Adam Forsey.
Yeah, this game was quite balanced before, this Paravian against Fauzi. But now it looks like Black is holding onto their life because, okay, White should be winning this. The knight is cut off.
Knight's kind of funny.
You can put the bishop on e7 here, yeah? Just.
But then,
or even rook b8 right now. I like rook b8.
Rook b8 is an option. What were kind of last moves? Rook h8, h5, bishop b4, king b5, and rook e8 is what he did. Maybe that's the